How's it going, everybody? I am DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the Type 4 Heavy, the Tier 9 Japanese Super Heavy tank in the Type 5 Heavy line. This vehicle here I honestly think is actually pretty well balanced in comparison to the Type 5, but there's one important caveat to that. You need to be using the 14cm for this thing to actually be balanced. If you're using the 15cm, you're basically driving an overpowered tank. It's as simple as that. Literally, the gun choice is what makes the difference. Like, I've grinded 134,000 XP on at this moment in time. Yeah, okay, right, so let's restart it here. How's it going there, everybody? I am DeanoGTO, and today we're going to be looking at the Type 4 Heavy, the Tier 9 Japanese Super Heavy tank in the Type 5 Heavy line. So, this vehicle here, I honestly think, in comparison to the Type 5 Heavy, is actually pretty balanced, because if you don't play it right, and if you don't make sure you're, well, if you're not making sure you're careful in the way you angle your armor and the way you position yourself, then you're going to take a lot of damage very quickly and you're going to die very quickly. Because these shoulder plates here and here are actually weaknesses. They're actually 200mm on this thing, in comparison to on the Type 5 Heavy where they're 270mm, the exact same armor thickness as the front of the tank. So it's a pretty significant difference that one change makes. Plus, it seems like the cupola is easier to penetrate consistently on this thing in comparison to the Type 5, so that's another thing that kind of helps this thing be a bit more balanced. Now, there's one more caveat that I need to point out when it comes to me saying this thing is balanced. I have only used the 14cm on this thing at this moment in time. I haven't even unlocked the 15cm, and I don't intend to on this tank. I will probably get Type 5 Heavy at some point, use it just with the 14cm gun, and eventually unlock the 15cm by doing that. So yeah, that's just my general intentions with that. Kind of a similar thing to what I did with the M451. Because you can see here, I have already got the M454 unlocked, but I have like another 25,000 XP to grind in order to get the 127mm gun, and then another 24k after that there for the upgraded tracks. Now, I don't mind doing that on this tank, because this tank is pretty spectacular. I mean, I have a 56% win rate in it, and it's a tier 9 vehicle. So yeah, and that's like nearly 200 games played as well. So it's a pretty damn good vehicle, but well, when you look at my Type 4 Heavy win rates, you can see this thing is pretty potent. 59.4% win rate with 130 games. This thing is a bit of a monster, and well, the only thing I can really think of that comes close from like back whenever I was using my old PC is the T10. I haven't played this thing that much since I got my new PC, but yeah, it's 300 games nearly with about 55% win rate. So it's still pretty good, but not quite as good as the other two. So let's see, actually, what's win rate in the E75? Just out of curiosity, because like I know like I actually played this thing for a while, like on like a 12 FPS laptop. So this thing's win rate's kind of skewed a little bit by that. I think my first 100 games were probably played on a 12 FPS laptop, so that's probably why that thing's win rate probably seems a bit low in comparison. So let's jump into the Type 4 Heavy here and just show you what this thing is like with the 14cm gun, because personally, I think this tank can be a Okay, so I'm going to turn that previous game into like a montage sort of thing, just showing how badly things can go for you in something like a Type 4 Heavy whenever there's literally nothing you can do on a particular map. Because both Type 5 Heavies get absolutely devastated at the beginning of the game on Prokhorovka, even though they're Type 5 Heavies and they're substantially stronger than this thing. Only reason why I survived so long was because I tried to remain hidden. Even then, because this thing's bigger than a house, well, it got spotted, and as soon as I got spotted, I got half my health gone within like 20 seconds. Then I went unspotted again. Artillery was still blind shot in the area where I was spotted, so I was just gradually losing health, and then I was spotted again, got absolutely wrecked. Now, you might be saying, why didn't you go to the western side of the train tracks and fight there? Well, let's just say doing that from the hill, or doing that when the hill is against you, is an absolutely awful idea. You might have seen that Type 5 Heavies may have done well doing that from time to time, But this is a Type 4 heavy, it doesn't have the same overall armor layout. And the times that you've seen the Type 5 heavy do well there, they're the minority. Most of the time, whenever you see Type 4 or Type 5 heavy, they go to Prokhorovka, they go to the western side of the train tracks. It doesn't really work. All that usually happens is a bunch of tank destroyers sitting on the hill with the 2 key pressed just wind up just absolutely just erasing your health and just erasing you from the game really early on. And if you get lucky, you might get like 1,000 damage. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that either. You really do need a map where you can control where the enemy is able to attack you from. A map like Himmelsdorf is pretty perfect, although there even are areas in Himmelsdorf where people can outflank you and can't catch you out. Like, I'm actually really not sure where I want to go because I don't want to have to spend so much time climbing up the hill. But at the same time, I don't really want to fight a Type 5 heavy. I'm not entirely sure where the Type 5 heavy is likely to go here. Because depending on where he spawned, he might go to the top of the hill. So I think, if I'm honest with you, I think he's more likely to go to the bottom of the hill. Watch him come to the top of the hill, like, and get spotted like immediately. I don't want to fight a Type 5 heavy because all Type 5 heavies seem to use the 15cm gun. And whenever they're using the 15cm gun, they always have the 2 key pressed because there's no real disadvantage to doing so. So yeah, this should be interesting. And also, wow, the Grill 15's come to the top of the hill. That's an interesting choice. Personally, I wouldn't take a Grill 15 to the top of the hill, especially because it only has like 7 degrees gun depression and it's made out of glass. So yeah, interesting choice by that guy. But that's kind of, the fact we haven't seen anything else on top of the hill is kind of weird. See, so they have 2 mediums, 3 mediums, a heavy tank, and a tank destroyer. Meanwhile, we have like 8 tanks here. Yeah, we have the hill 1, I'm gonna say. Where'd the Grill 15 go? Oh, the Grill 15 fell back. Huh, interesting. So, I guess let's just try and push this forward. Hopefully the Type 5 heavy isn't here. And he hasn't been spotted yet. The Type 5 heavy is a lot slower than I'm expecting because, well, I'm already on the top of the hill and I'm slower than Type 5 heavy. So, unless Type 5 heavy is slower than me, I don't know. He must be somewhere else. In fact, yep, there he is there, he's down there. Type 5 heavy. Let's push forward, push forward, push forward. Come on. We need to push forward as quickly as possible because if we don't, we are going to get absolutely eviscerated. There's no point in us sitting back. Just take a little bit of damage and get moving quickly as possible. Because if you sit here and let the enemy team just kind of hold you back for this amount of time, is he looking at me? He's not looking at me, he's dead, okay. Right, so this tortoise, is he firing? Oh, I'm so lucky he's using that gun. I am so lucky he's using that gun. I was trying to figure out why he was doing nothing to me. If he was using the 120, I would bet he would have just caned me. But he's not using the 120. I was actually surprised I took so little damage there whenever I started like pushing that forward. But yeah, if we didn't start pushing that forward, we would have been pincered and we would have been screwed. We would have been the definition of screwed. So let's go on down the hill here again and try and support this Grill 15. So it actually wound up working out really nicely there. So let's see, the Type 5 heavy hasn't been spotted in a while. That makes me think he might be going over towards the Ag Tiger. But then again, yeah, like the Type 5 heavy is not a particularly quick vehicle, it's quicker than this thing. Same top speed, but better part of weight ratio. So yeah, it might just be taking him a while to get around. So Grill 15 just absolutely just whacked by its 15cm gun there. So let's try and help out this Grill 15. If I can get him to fall back behind me, that would be good. Oh no, I was going to try and pull around like in front of this guy to try and save him, but he didn't. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I was going to try and save that Grill 15 if at all possible, but no real way for me to do it there. So this is an awkward fight, because this is like the one tank on the enemy team which I would want to avoid fighting if at all possible. So hopefully, I'm actually heavier than him thinking about it, so I should be able to bully him a little bit. It's bizarre to think of, but yes, the Type 4 is heavier than the Type 5. something to do with their like design. Like you know how like the back of the Type 5 is actually like lower down than the back of the Type 5 or Type 4. Sorry, it gets really confusing thinking about the numbers. The lower back on the Type 4 or on the Type 5 means it's actually lighter than the Type 5. It doesn't have as much area. So I've lost a shit ton of health here in this fight, but the BK-100 is now behind him. And I should out-reload this guy. I'm not going to ram him because that's a terrible idea. I would probably wind up dead. And wow, for some reason he killed the M103 rather than killing me. So let's just make it so that it's as easy as possible for the BK to try and kill this guy. See, I think try a shot just... Wow, okay, nice. Wow, that actually somehow wound up surviving that there. I guess me just tanking hits for that Type 5 there because I have a super heavy spall liner, I somehow managed to survive that. I got pretty lucky. I refused to ram the guy because I have a feeling I probably would have died. Just amounts of armor, and I am technically a little bit heavier, but if I rammed him, I have a feeling I probably would have just ended up just being squished by him pretty much. But wow, I actually got top XP. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected to get top XP for that. So let's actually take a wee look here, because I'm almost certain that I'm heavier than the Type 5. So let's take a wee look here. So Type 5 is 150 tons. Yes, Type 4 is 160. And both of those get 1200 horsepower engines. So I have a worse part of weight ratio, but I have the more weight to use. So I'm about 12 tons heavier. Jesus, I didn't think it was as much as that. But yeah, some of that there's down to the equipment and stuff that I have installed. But yeah, I am heavier, which meant I was able to kind of push him around a little bit. Not much, but I was able to like kind of push him around a wee bit, which is something you really can't do to Type 4s particularly often unless you're in a mouse. The mouse is actually really good just pushing everything around because, well, it's a mouse. But yeah, that was a decent enough game there. Like, it was on Himmelsdorf, which is pretty much like the most biased you can possibly have in favor of Type 4 or Type 5 heavy. But, well, it was preceded by a game on Prokhorovka, which kind of balances it out because, well, Prokhorovka, there's literally nothing a tank like this can do in Prokhorovka. I mean, things like the mouse can kind of angle and just drive forward on the western side of the map on Prokhorovka, but things like these, because their armor is all 100% flat, and you really can't angle it very well, these things just get absolutely caned by premium rounds. So, yeah. I think this vehicle here in particular is relatively well balanced, but the Tier 10 I really do think needs to be reworked. And I think the 15cm needs to be removed in both of these tanks. Either it needs to be removed or needs to be reworked significantly. So, yeah. That's just my general opinion. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one.